Under the wet sand of the beach, a giant creature suddenly emerged, spewing out a powerful stream of water. It was the geoduck, a strange clam with a seemingly endless long spout. But don't let its exotic appearance fool you. On the international market, a pound of geoduck can fetch up to $100. In fact, the geoduck industry now brings in hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue each year, tied to transcontinental shipping routes and lavish culinary feasts. On this journey, we'll delve from the cold ocean where they're harvested to the fine restaurants where geoduck is a delicacy, to discover the secrets hidden beneath their rough, sandy shells. Go discover why geoduck clams are so expensive. The $100 per pound shellfish. Geoduck, a strange name, but belongs to one of the strangest mollusks on the planet. Possessing a trunk that can be up to 3.28 feet long, they live buried deep in the sand. Only a small tube is exposed to breathe. Unlike regular clams or mussels, geoduck are huge, weighing an average of 2 to 3 pounds, with large individuals exceeding 7 pounds. What attracts the attention of scientists the most is their impressive lifespan. Many can live more than 100 years, becoming living witnesses to the transformation of the ocean. In coastal ecosystems, geoduck act as natural water filters, able to filter dozens of liters per day, contributing to maintaining a clean marine environment. Their strange shape, large size, and ecological value have turned them into creatures that are both ancient and symbolic, evoking stories about nature and culture. This clam species thrives only in the cold ocean environment of the Pacific Ocean, with water temperatures ranging from 7 to 15 degrees Celsius and rich in nutrients. The journey to harvest geoduck is not simple. It requires patience and the skills of skilled fishermen. To find quality geoduck, they have to dive deep into the cold water, sometimes only visible at the dark seabed. The underwater scene opens up a mysterious world where fishermen use high-pressure water hoses to dig up thick layers of sand, pulling geoduck out of the ground. Each time they dig, they have to make sure not to damage the clam because the geoduck's shell is very fragile. This makes harvesting time-consuming and delicate, But it is precisely this that makes them so valuable. Unlike other seafood, geoduck cannot be harvested en masse. Each harvest season lasts only a few weeks, and fishermen must strictly adhere to regulations on catch quotas to protect this resource. These expeditions also face natural challenges, from rising and falling tides, harsh weather, to unpredictable elements from the marine environment. A difficult journey, but thanks to this meticulous process, geoduck has become a precious gift from the ocean, loved and sought after all over the world. Geoduck farming is an art that requires patience and a deep understanding of marine ecology. Unlike other seafood species that can grow quickly, geoduck requires a nurturing process of 6 to 7 years before it can be harvested. Geoduck farms are often located in cold, clean waters where the tides provide enough nutrients for them to thrive. To begin with, the tiny clams are raised in protected areas where they thrive under long plastic tubes, keeping them safe from natural threats like predators. What is special about geoduck is that their habitat needs to be very carefully maintained. Farms must closely monitor water quality, light conditions, and tidal flows, as even small changes in these factors can affect their growth. Therefore, geoduck farming is not only time-consuming, but also requires large investments in technology and resources. However, with the high value they bring, geoduck farming has gradually become a promising industry, bringing in large revenues for fishermen and seafood companies. But the industry isn't without its challenges, from protecting geoduck from disease to debates about the impact of aquaculture on natural ecosystems. It is a risky profession, but it also reflects the delicate combination of science, technology, and sustainability in maintaining this precious resource. Once dug up from the deep sand or harvested from coastal farms, they are immediately cleaned and placed in strictly refrigerated conditions. If not stored properly, the flavor and crispness of geoduck will quickly disappear. Therefore, fishermen often pack them in specialized boxes with stable humidity and temperature, ensuring they stay healthy during transportation. Within 24 hours, geoduck was in major distribution centers ready for high-end markets. Geoduck's main destinations are high-end restaurants in Asia, especially in Japan, China, and Korea. In Japan, they are processed into sashimi, retaining their sweet, cool, and crunchy taste. In China, geoduck often appears in hot pots or sophisticated stir-fries, while in Korea, they are varied but still honor the natural flavor. Geoduck has a characteristic sweet and slightly salty taste, with a distinct crunchy texture, making them a sought-after dish at high-class parties. Enjoying geoduck is not only a culinary experience, but also part of a rich culinary culture, where each dish carries a story about its origin, preparation process, and the rarity of its ingredients. Therefore, geoduck becomes a dish that is not only delicious, but also meaningful, associated with cultural, historical, and luxurious values. Major restaurants around the world, especially in big cities like Tokyo, Hong Kong, and New York, are always ready to serve geoduck as a special gift for gourmet diners. The geoduck industry has gone global, becoming a huge economic resource with prices up to $100 per pound and revenues in the hundreds of millions of dollars each year. China, Japan, and South Korea are the largest consumer markets, where geoduck is not only a delicacy, but also a symbol of luxury. The United States and Canada are currently the main suppliers, considering geoduck as a strategic export item. However, this development has brought many challenges. Scarce supply, strict regulations on harvesting, and competition from domestic farming in Asia have caused prices to fluctuate. In particular, overexploitation is depleting natural populations, while aquaculture is costly and cannot meet demand. To protect this species, many exploitation restrictions and restricted areas are being applied. At the same time, research on sustainable farming and community education is being promoted to balance economic benefits and ecological conservation. Geoduck is not only of commercial value, but also an essential part of the marine ecosystem, requiring joint efforts to preserve it for the future. So, from being strange shellfish on the seafloor, geoduck has become a symbol of preciousness in global cuisine and economy. Hidden deep in the reef's treacherous reefs, groupers are giant predators that can grow to be 6.6 feet long and weigh more than 440 pounds, the moon bear of the ocean. They live up to 40 years and only breed for a few weeks each year, making supplies extremely limited. Hidden deep in the reef's treacherous reefs, groupers are giant predators that can grow to be 6.6 feet long and weigh more than 440 pounds, the moon bear of the ocean. They live up to 40 years and only breed for a few weeks each year, making supplies extremely limited. With its white, firm, boneless meat grouper is a premium ingredient at Michelin-starred restaurants in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Dubai. Some rare breeds, such as the Napoleon grouper, are banned from being caught, causing their value on the black market to skyrocket. Because of the extreme difficulty and the constant risk involved, grouper is a rare commodity. A 6-ton catch can fetch more than $1.5 million, a worthy reward for those brave enough to face the ocean. Behind the million-dollar deal in the middle of the ocean is an entire ecosystem of technology and the art of survival, starting right from the secret coastal grouper hatcheries. Here, parent groupers are strictly selected through DNA analysis and genetic characteristics to breed a new generation with high resistance and optimal growth rate. After hatching, larvae are raised in a closed environment with absolute control over nutrition, temperature, and living density. When large enough, the fish are raised in sea cages or lakes near islands, where the survival pressure is just as harsh as in nature. Each sturgeon cage is not just a cage, it is an entire high-tech ecosystem. Inside, it is integrated underwater surveillance cameras, oxygen sensors, temperature sensors, and even artificial intelligence to closely monitor every movement and every small abnormal sign. Just one sudden change, such as a reversal in currents, an unusual rise in temperature, or a bacterial invasion, can cause a disaster fish die off en masse, and a farm owner can lose hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. This is not just fish farming. It is a constant watch between man and nature, with risks lurking in every water. Grouper farming takes 2 to 4 years to reach commercial size of about 33 to 66 pounds each. And only those farms that can overcome all risks of disease storms and environmental change have a chance to enter the international market, where 6 tons of grouper can be exchanged for more than 1.5 million USD, becoming a worthy trophy for a dangerous and difficult journey. After nearly a year of nurturing in the deep coral reef, the giant groupers are finally ready to be harvested. As the sun rises or sets coolly, when the water temperature is at its most ideal, the marine farming team begins the meticulous process. Each fish cage is cleverly narrowed, creating a gentle embrace in the middle of the ocean. Groupers weighing tens of kilograms are scooped up one by one with a specialized soft net, then quickly put into an oxygenated seawater tank on board. Every operation is absolutely precise to keep the fish healthy and unscathed, a decisive factor in export value. It is the attention to detail, combined with advanced marine farming techniques, pristine environments, and international shipping networks, that turns 6 tons of grouper into a deal worth more than 1.5 million USD, a living treasure raised from the ocean floor. Immediately after being harvested, the precious groupers are brought to the processing station near the farming area, where every step is carried out with almost absolute precision. Fish are kept in deep seawater tanks or using biocalming techniques which help the body recover and avoid injury. Each fish is then washed with pure seawater or a mild salt solution which brightens the skin and removes the natural slime without damaging the smooth, shiny surface of the skin, a key factor for commercial value. Immediately, the fish is flash frozen at 31 Bordeaux, preserving its texture, sweetness, and firmness, sealing in the freshness of the ocean. Next, the fish is vacuum-packed, labeled with traceability, and shipped to high-end markets such as Japan, Korea, or Singapore. Each grouper is not just a product, but the crystallization of technology, skill, and respect for nature. The reason why 6 tons of fish can bring in more than 1.5 million USD. White, sweet, and chewy meat imbued with the flavor of the deep sea. Grouper is an ingredient favored by top chefs in high-end menus. Whether steamed with soy sauce, Hong Kong style, grilled with salt and chili on a charcoal stove, or cooked in Vietnamese style sour soup, grouper always retains its natural sweetness and characteristic firm texture. Not only delicious grouper is also rich in protein, low in fat, and contains many minerals that are good for the heart and joints. Therefore, this is not just a dish, but a blend of sophisticated cuisine and nutrients from the ocean. From the deep sea to the dinner table, each grouper is the crystallization of technology, human effort, and global trade networks. The reason why this deal is worth up to 1.5 million USD. If this journey impressed, you don't forget to like and follow the channel to discover other magical stories from the natural world.